I am Katharina Michio, and you are watching NY Mania.
I'm Kayla Walsh, and you're watching NY Yankee Mania.
Hi, my name is Maria Venuto, and you are watching New York Yankee Mania.
I'm Marnie Schneider. I'm the author of Football Freddy, and I am so excited to be part of the New York Yankee Mania show.
Hey, everybody, it's Ian Eagle. You are watching NY Yankee Mania, the best.
And welcome, everyone, to NY Yankee Mania, coffee, bagels, and everything that goes with it. How's everybody doing? It's Joe, NITHIN, and Sean Browning. I'm here for a couple of seconds just to say thank you to everyone for being here and everything that you guys are doing for us. Unbelievable with our live streams and our baseball games. Thank you so much. But I do have a quick announcement, and then I'm going to let these guys do what they do best. Tonight, the NY Yankee Mania show will have the Yankee game, and Jason, our Met guy, will be calling the New York Yankee game tonight. And as an added treat, right after that game, immediately after the last out, Jason will put on his basketball cap and will give you play-by-play of the Lakers-Rockets Game 6 as the Lakers try to finally finish it out. So, Jason, we can't thank you enough. You are absolutely a beast. Thank you so much. Enjoy it, and I will definitely see you guys over the weekend. So much going on right now, guys. You guys are unbelievable for me, and thank you. And everybody in the chat, I deeply care so much for each and every one of you. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Welcome, Evan. Congratulations with everything going on with your graduation. Nothing but love and prayers.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Thank you, Joe, for that. Appreciate it.
Guys, go do your show. Have a great day. And
Joe, before you leave, we got the special guest here. So if you want to say hi to him real quick before you add him. So,
sure.
All right, good morning, guys. Welcome to the chat with Joe, Evan, and Sean. My team and I booked former MLB outfielder Austin Jackson for the show today. He played for the Yankees, Tigers, Cleveland Indians, and different other teams. So he had a good career. Looking forward to bringing him on for you guys. And guys, if you have any questions, get your questions ready for Austin Jackson. And I think if he's ready, we'll bring him up. But I don't think he's ready yet. But Joe, first of all, you congrats on 15. I think we're over 1,500 subscribers now. It's amazing, and what you do with the YouTube Live, that's really amazing. You go on YouTube Live every day to promote the show and obviously give updates to the fans, the Yankee updates or anything. So, and that's where the bread and butter right now, guys, is the YouTube Live, and a lot of people are joining in, liking the videos and subscribing. So they got let's keep the momentum going, and I think Joe is doing a great thing with YouTube Live. And shout out to Ken from The Ugly Truth for being a part of that too, and recommending stuff like that and other things. So kudos to them, and
to Chef Nick.
Chef Nick also. Yep, shout out to Chef Nick, everybody on the panel, Sean, Evan, and everybody. So you guys are a big part of this. And if you guys missed our NY Sports Outbound show yesterday, please go check that out. We had I booked a Meta World Peace. He was on the show last night. Go check that out. It was a good one, and thank you guys for supporting that show yesterday. Yeah, and looks like Austin's not ready yet. But guys, tonight, let's go Yankees. Big game tonight as they start a new series back home against Baltimore. Another division game, and we got I think who's on the mound? I forgot. Oh, I think it's isn't it
Will
Warren?
Yeah, Will Warren is on the mound. Yes, I think Will Warren is on the mound, and hopefully they can bounce back, start a new winning streak at home. So it should be a fun one. And I want to give yesterday also, guys. Carlos Rodon made his rehab start at Somerset, and he pitched good last night. I think he went 4 or 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, a couple runs,
8 Ks.
Oh, 8 strikeouts. Okay, 5
and 5 and a third innings.
Yeah,
and the great chat and the great people that listen and watch NY Yankee Mania with my four shorts, well, 5 shorts. We got over 13,000 views. And I want to thank each and every one of you for that. And believe me, it did not go unnoticed because YouTube was sending our show out. And
Okay.
before Austin Jackson comes up, I personally want to thank him for coming on our show. I'm so sorry that I can't stay, but there's so much going on, and I want to personally invite him back when he has some time, because I would love to interview him. And he was one of my favorite players, and I'm not just saying that because he's coming up. It's the truth. And we thank him for everything he did, not only for the Yankees, but the Tigers and everything else he did. So, Austin, thank you so much. You really are an inspiration. Oh, and there he is. How you doing? Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
I wasn't sure. I with all my heart, Austin, I feel terrible that I can't stay, but I give you love and support. Thank you so much for coming here. The guys up here are great, and I am so proud that you decided to come on NY Yankee Mania.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. I was just listening to all your words, man. You got me choked up over here, man.
Well, no, it's true. And by the way, Austin, I put a really wonderful Yankee picture on my shorts for you. And
nice.
You are the best, and thank you again. And please come back, okay? Because I'd love to interview you.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And you stay well. And before I go, for your mom, wife, or anybody, happy Mother's Day next week. To your whole family, God bless you, and thank you.
All right, same. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Go for it. Take care.
Well, Austin, thank you for joining, and I'm glad that my team and I were able to get you on here. It's you guys are gonna enjoy.
I don't think I can. I lost the audio.
Oh yeah. So go in and out. Hold on, let me.
Can you hear me, Austin? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Evan.
Austin, can you hear me or no?
I need to go out and come back in.
Yeah,
you can try and refresh, and sometimes I'll fix the audio.
Sorry, guys. Give me. Yeah, just go. Yeah, there you go, and then come back. Yeah. All right, guys. While we wait, Evan. First of all, congrats on all. Your graduation is almost here, and congrats on all that. And obviously, Sean, you guys do a great job. And here he is. He's ready. Let's see. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I got you. Loud and clear.
All right.
Austin, I just want to say thank you for joining. Glad that my team and I were able to get you on here for them this show, and all the guests that's been on here has been through us, and now you're added to the list. So I'll come back up later, but I'm gonna let Evan and Sean take over here with you, nice. And I'll come back up later. So
all right, cool.
All right, guys, enjoy Evan and Sean, and guys, everybody in the chat, get your questions ready for Austin. He'll answer it too. So.
Hey, Austin, how you doing?
And, lost the audio again.
Oh no,
I'm gonna have to go back, come back in.
Yeah.
I hear you, Evan. I don't hear you though, son.
Go ahead.
Oh,
all
awesome.
right.
Oh, great.
I hear you, Evan. So you want me to go out, come back in?
Yeah, try that one more time. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, just a little technical difficulties, guys. I'm sure we'll get it figured out. These things happen.
Yeah.
Really appreciate Austin taking his time coming up here for an interview today. And you guys get a lot of great interviews on the show. This one, hopefully, you will enjoy too.
Ready.
And
got you.
Are we good?
Got it.
Sean,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you, Sean.
Awesome.
All right. So, Austin, thank you for coming on and taking the time to be with us today. How's your first month? The new year going for you?
It's going great. It's going great, man. I get a opportunity to. I'm homeschooling my kids, so this is a new journey for us that we've been navigating, trying to figure out the schedule and just everything that kind of works for our family. But it's been great, man. I've been, running around with them, getting pulled in different directions, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's been great.
Hey, you know what? That's perfect. And family time, quality time is the best.
Absolutely.
But if you could take us back to how did your journey in baseball and like how did you fall back in love and when did you realize that's what you wanted to do?
Man, I started playing baseball when I was 4 years old, and a lot of that was because of my brother. He's 5 years older than me, and so I would always go to the field. My parents taking him to a game, and just watching him play, and just seeing how he interacted with his teammates, and I kind of wanted that. I enjoyed seeing him with his teammates and just doing something that he loved to do. And I kind of fell in love with it around that time too. And I think it was just something also for our parents to put us in to keep us active. And it turned out I enjoyed it and I was pretty good at it. And like I said, I enjoy being in a group, a team setting. But I did started baseball when I was 4 years old, and just kind of came up just kind of like everybody else did with rec ball, and eventually going to select. And I think that's when baseball kind of started to change once we got into that select travel ball type of baseball. That's when I think it got a lot more serious, and when traveling, getting to see different players from out of states that I eventually actually ended up playing against in the major leagues. So that's pretty cool to have that journey and see a lot of the guys that I was 12 years old playing against, and continue to play against them up in high school and eventually in the minor leagues, and then got to see a lot of the same guys in the big league. So it's pretty cool to see how their journey went, as well as the journey that I followed. It's just a pretty cool thing to be able to play with a lot of guys from a young age, and then also see them in the big leagues.
I got one for you, Austin. So obviously, MLB players, they take a while, unless they're first round picks or top 5 picks, to come up to the league. So obviously, when you entered the draft, you probably knew that you weren't going to be obviously a top pick or going to the MLB right away after you were drafted. What's that mentality like that a player has when they know they're going to be in the minors for a while, when they know that they have to work their way up? Well, what goes through your mind during that process?
Honestly, I didn't know what the process was going to be like. If you'd have asked my 18-year-old self if I knew that I was about to go to the minor leagues and go to each level, I'd have probably looked at you sideways, because, that's a confidence that I grew up having, and that was kind of instilled in me at a young age to, whatever you want, go get it. But for me, I didn't know what that process was going to be like. I didn't know if, I was going to be in the big leagues or go to the minor leagues. I didn't know what that process was like. I really didn't find out a lot of those things until, I got drafted and started to, my agent started to tell me kind of how that process would work out and where I would be at. But I didn't know what to expect or how long I was going to be there. But what I do know is that I was very appreciative for the time that I spent in the minor leagues, because a young kid coming out of high school, baseball is different when you get to the professional side of things, and I needed that. I needed that experience. I needed that time at each level to develop physically, mentally, and just to understand how baseball is played every single day. Playing on Fridays in front of your classmates and some of your family is different than playing at 12 o'clock in Tampa on a Tuesday, with the whole bunch of guys that are hungry and want the same thing as you. So it was definitely something that I needed and I was appreciative for, especially coming up through the Yankees organization. Really, top of the line organization that really is big in developing really the fundamentals of the game in each and every aspect of it. And I needed it. I needed all the time that I spent in the minor leagues, and that time definitely helped me when I got to the big leagues.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a question here from the chat from Jason, who's Evan's twin brother, and he's one of our panel members. He'll be calling the game tonight. He said, "Who did you most look up to when you started playing?"
Ooh, man, that's a good one because I being from Texas, I was a Rangers fan, and Juan Gonzalez, Rusty Greer, Mark McLemore, like these are some of the guys that I looked up to and that really kind of inspired me when I was younger, and as I started to get older, just like probably every other kid, Ken Griffey Jr. was a guy that I looked up to, and just admired the way he played the game, how he made it look fun, how he made it look easy. I tried to implement some of that mindset or some of that swag into my game. And that was as I got older, a guy that I really looked up to, obviously playing center field too, was a guy I wanted to be like. So yeah, Ken was the man.
Oh yeah. Man, I don't think anybody could make the plays that Ken Griffey made look as good as he did, especially with the ball cap backwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Austin, you did make a great play in the outfield, and
I made a couple.
Yeah,
probably that home run. That was pretty cool.
But yeah, that's one of the people, like the smoothest center fielders I've ever seen was obviously Ken Griffey, Andrew Jones, who just got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Torrey Hunter, man, I watched him play, and it was like, what? I saw him rob Barry Bonds, and it was like, man. And then also, Bernie, he played a good center field, and he
solid, very solid. You don't get the name Spider-Man in center field if you ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Torrey was that guy. Kenny Lofton was another guy that could go get him with the best of them. Probably doesn't get enough recognition, but Kenny was a beast out there, man. He was, a heck of a player for a long time. So
even in his old age, I saw him stealing bases, still playing center field. I was like, what?
Right. Still hitting it for a high average, still, being a nuisance up there at the top of the lineup, man. That's why he was able to play for so long, and that's why I feel like he doesn't get probably the recognition because he didn't have all maybe the flash that some of the top guys had, but he was always up there, at the top in individual stats towards the end of the season because he was, he could kind of do it all. He kind of had a really complete game. So,
with your time with the Yankees, of course, was there any special moments or any special players that stood out to you as far as interactions go, or moments or anything that you hold to heart when it comes to that?
Yeah, I remember the first time. It's just funny because. Just down to the way that I even used to dress and, just carry myself, you realize when you get into a position to where you're not even as cool as you think you are. I remember the first time in spring training, getting the big league invite, and Reggie, Mr. Jackson, man, he called me out on something that I was wearing, and it was just a cool moment for me because it was like, he knew who I was, and he was trying to show me like, hey, you in this locker room, you're dealing with future Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Cy Young winners and MVPs. So you gotta earn your worth here. You earn your keep here, and it was a pretty cool a moment for me because he kind of looked after me when I first got there. But the cool thing about being in that locker room was that. I watched a lot of these guys playing growing up, but they were nothing like what I was expecting. They were super down to earth, super chill, but it was really good to see how they handled their business on a daily. Worked hard. Everybody worked hard. Everybody was willing to give advice. I wasn't one of the guys that would go in the locker room and sit in the corner. I wanted to know things. So I'd go up to Derek Jeter. I'd go up to CC, and they were very receiving of me, and they were willing to, answer any questions or just say what's up. That was the coolest thing, to really meet down to earth guys that I grew up watching play, but to see their work ethic and to see how they interacted with each other, how they interacted with the young guys, how they were that veteran presence for young guys. That's what I experienced, and that was a big reason why I developed the work ethic, is because when you see guys like Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez, when they're going to the cage, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're working every day, a lot of that rubs off on you. And, I was able to get that experience, the experience that a lot of players don't get at an early age. So that definitely helped me with my development and throughout my career.
Oh yeah, I mean that's amazing, and those are great players to kind of follow around. But I also want to piggyback off of that, like when the legends, like I know you mentioned Reggie, but Yogi and all those guys came around. Was there any interaction you had that really like blew your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I had an interaction with Yogi, and it was just cool because I didn't expect for him all to know who I was, and for him to introduce himself and call me by my first name and kind of give joke with me a little bit, and to tell some of the other guys, hey, this kid can play. That meant a lot, right? Because it's as a young kid, coming up and getting to see all of these stars, all of these big names, guys that you just can dream to be like one day. To have that interaction with them, to have an interaction with Yogi, it was just awesome. It was awesome for me to get to experience that, and me to for him to know who I was. That gave me a lot of confidence right there. Being, like I said, being around all these stars, for when you have somebody like Yogi know your name, you're doing something right. So
right.
Oh,
And
that's my brother. He was a Mets fan.
What up, Jason?
Hey, Mr. Jackson, how are you today?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Doing well.
Nice.
Jason, you have a question here for Mr. Jackson?
Yes. So first, thank you for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yep, anytime. So my question for you is, when you're in like the mix of a losing streak on the team, like if you're on a team, if your team is losing, when you're expected to win a lot of games, how does that kind of play into your mindset, like as a player? How do you feel that you can turn things around rather than just staying in that negative mindset?
Well, a lot of I think a lot of things that you learn throughout a season is there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Guys know that. It's just impossible to stay on these high streaks for a long period of time. At some point, the tides will turn, and you're going to have some rough streaks in there. And guys have honestly been dealing with that for a very long time. So it's not anything new. I think it's a matter of trusting the process when you're in it, right? Like when everything's going good, everything's good. Whatever you're doing is working. You stick with it. But I think when things tend to start going south and rather quickly, I think we sometimes we start to overthink it and start trying to do all these new things. And from a hitting stance, I'm going to change my hands. I'm going to change my batting stance or pitcher. I'm going to start my arm angle and all these things. Guys just trust the process. They trust the process, and the routine that they do every day is the routine. You don't change. You stay with the things that got you there and the things that work. Now, obviously, there are going to be adjustments that need to be made throughout a season, especially when you're losing. There might be some things that need to be made from a management standpoint, from a performance standpoint. There might be things that need to stay, but in that clubhouse, guys are are sticking to the script. They are focused on the things that got them there, the things that they know that work, and they stay with it because you know that this is not a perfect game. There's so much failure involved in this game that you mentally, if you succumb to failure every time, you know what I mean, like, and start
Yeah.
changing stuff, you kind of lose your identity. The guys, the really good guys, they stick to the process and they understand that it is a process and they know it's a long season. They're going to go through these ups and downs, but eventually, when they come out of it, they'll be better.
Yeah, definitely great answer. The reason why I asked you that is because obviously I'm a Mets fan, and right now they're in a rough stretch. But I ultimately feel like they could turn things around if they just stay the course and just keep doing what they're doing. Obviously, they have to play better, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
and you know, things have to sometimes things just aren't going your way. Like it's just the ball is not falling in your favor.
Yeah,
And that's another thing. You know, you got guys out there busting their tail every single day. And they understand the importance of winning and they trust me, they want to win, but they
yeah,
also know that those guys are driving nice cars too. Those guys
yeah,
got big houses too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that this is the top of the top. And so you just again stick to that process knowing that hey, in a minute things will start to change, but we also got to believe it. You know, we got to believe in each other in here and we got to pick each other up because it's tough, man. You're around your teammates more than you're around your family basically. So those
yeah,
guys in the clubhouse, it got to be a tight knit group and guys got to pick each other up. Once the clubhouse starts getting weird, it's tough to come back from. But when you got a group of guys that believe in each other, they love each other, it's a brotherhood, man. I've been in that situation where I've come out on the high end because we just stuck to the process and we believed in each other and we showed up and we enjoyed the clubhouse. You know what I mean? Showing up to the clubhouse, guys wanted to. Guys wanted to be around each other and we ultimately wanted to win and we ended up winning. So.
Mhm.
yep.
Well, we got
Awesome.
Chef Nick here. Chef Nick is a big part of the channel, and he's a resident chef. So maybe one day he can cook
Hey,
for you
I
also.
love to eat. So if
Okay,
you love to cook, I love to eat. So say less.
Well, and
he's in the city.
and
He's in
he
the
can cook a lot of different style foods from
Yeah.
Greek,
yeah.
Italian, you name
Hey,
it.
I can eat a lot of different style food, cuisines as well. So throw them at me.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready. I love to eat.
Well,
that's awesome.
Uh,
um,
Sean, you want to go ahead first?
yeah, with all these different rule changes and now with this ABS system, how do you like some of these changes that baseball's made with some of the rules to speed up the game, and then also the ABS implementation so far?
yeah, I mean, I like it. I like some of the stuff because the ABS, the challenge system is pretty quick. It's not something that is taking up too much time. They go on, they look at it, boom, they're right back before. It's almost basically like somebody stepping out and looking in the stands and it's no longer than
Yeah,
that. So I don't mind it. I think some of these things have actually helped the game speed up, as you mentioned, and I thought about this earlier, and I talked to people about it. Like, it's probably for the better of the game, right? Like, it'd be
hmm
different if there's like, all right, we're gonna start doing 4 strikes now. It'd be like, yo, hey, let's not start changing the game of baseball. Let's keep baseball the same. I understand that
right.
from their standpoint, they just want to get things right. The
hmm
outcome of games have been changed because the human element is just wrong, and some people love that, and I do too. But I also like when I throw a perfect game, I want it to be a perfect game if we can get it right. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And it's just like things like that. I'm like, some people are old school, and I was too. But I've had to learn how to adapt because, it's just I wanna be involved in the game, and I want to know these changes and how they're affecting the game. So I do like some of the changes. I don't mind them at all. I think that again, it's just for the better of the game, and I think ultimately, as long as we're keeping it just in the guidelines of we're not trying to change the game of baseball. We want to speed it up. We want to make it a better experience for the fans and just, get through these games a little bit quicker, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, what I noticed too, and I like about it, is the ABS system has actually kind of showed how hard the ump's job. I mean, how hard it is to call ball and strike. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at it like most of these calls that get overturned, it's within like a tenth of an inch.
We talking about
Yeah.
like the one I saw yesterday. I mean, I'm not even joking. It was like you said, a tenth of an inch. I'm like, or the other way where it nicks it right for a strike.
Yeah.
Like it's like the seam caught it. I'm like,
Yeah. Seam caught it. Yeah.
dang, man, it's just crazy how, like to your point, you realize how hard their job is, right? Like it's a hard job. We get mad at them sometimes, and then you see that right there where a seam nicks the strike zone, and there it's just like, man, that whole ball
Yeah.
was off of the plate, but a seam nicked it, so it's a strike. I
Right.
guess,
Right.
yes.
And
It
that's why I
changes
kind of like.
perspective.
Go ahead. Nick.
Changes the perspective of the hitter too. Like the hitter has to have a whole different perspective now once they have the ABS because the umpire has his own strike zone, and now you have this box that sort of defines what the strike zone is now. So now the umpire is looking at it from like, okay, well, if a ball crosses home plate even a tenth of an inch above the strike zone, if I still call it a strike, that may not be a strike. That may be overturned.
Sure.
So now the umpire and the hitter now have to have two different perspectives when it comes to that. And it's like you said, it really is challenging for the umpires.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But I wanted to ask you about your time with the Detroit Tigers. Wow, the Detroit Tigers, you were, I think, a fan favorite over there with Detroit. Played with some great guys, Max Scherzer, Miguel Cabrera, Austin Romine too, and also Brad Ausmus was also on that coaching staff, who is currently the bench coach for the Yankees. So I want to ask, what was your experience like playing for the Tigers? What was your experience with the fan base, and how much did you enjoy playing for them?
I loved it. Detroit, obviously after getting traded from the Yankees, was the first team that kind of really gave me that opportunity. So I loved it. Jim Leland was the manager there at the time when I got there. And I don't think there could have been a better guy for me at that time to, instill that confidence in me. Getting traded for an established center fielder, Curtis Granderson, that's some big shoes to fill. He was a fan favorite in Detroit. They loved him there, and same thing. You guys know how he was and how quickly the fan base adapted and just went towards him. But there were some big shoes to fill. Getting traded, being in the AAA system, then being put into the big leagues with a whole nother organization that didn't get to see you grow, that didn't get to see your ups and downs. So they're kind of, there's this big question mark next to you. So I felt like I needed to prove myself. I went over with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder to say that, hey, I know that everybody loved Curtis Granderson, but I'm me, and I have to be who I am and do what I'm capable of, and bring my value to a team and what I see that I can add value and ultimately help a team win. And I think once people kind of started to understand that, this is a completely different player than Curtis Granderson, and understand that I played the game hard. I played the game the right way. I showed up every day, trying to win a ball game. I think that they started to adapt to me and started to see that, hey, this guy can play a little bit. He's doing what he can do. It's in a different way, right? But he's him, and he plays the game hard, plays the game the right way. He shows up. Always tried to have a good attitude, and I'm hoping that was a reflection, and that reflected, that I reflected that, and that the fans saw that. So, I just went about my business. I went about my business. I didn't try to, stand out or anything. I genuinely just wanted to make a team better and wanted to win, and they accepted me, and they accepted that. They accepted me for who I was, and I got a chance to rub shoulders with a lot of guys that are gonna be Hall of Famers and MVPs and Cy Young's winners, and I got a taste of greatness, right? I got a taste of greatness and got an opportunity to again see how the greats go about their business. A lot of guys don't get that opportunity, or if they do, they kind of take advantage of it, and I didn't. I made sure that I was I was in the mix. I was in the mix, man. I really wanted to know how these guys just what made them tick, and I just became familiar with everybody. And I love the clubhouse atmosphere, making that feel like a fun, safe place for guys. And I did whatever I could to be a good teammate in that organization. And I think that I had some really good times there, and I was very appreciative for my time there. So
Well,
loved it in Detroit.
yeah. Well, speaking of future Hall of Famers, we got a surefire Hall of Famer who was an ace of the Tigers when he was young. Came up. What was it like playing around Justin Verlander?
Oh, Ver, man. He's a bulldog on the mound. He's what I think, every defensive player wants. That a guy on the mound that is just a bulldog. This is workhorse, just doesn't give in. I think at times, we would kind of look at Ver like, man, like what is like who is he? He would start a game off 92 miles per hour, and then you look up in the seventh, eighth inning, and it's like, yo, that was 99. Like, what? That's crazy. That you had 108 pitches and you got 99 still in the tank. That is
Yeah.
just unbelievable to see, just him work on a daily basis. And again, it's like, at times, you just kind of look at it like, dude, this ain't real. I didn't even realize a lot of the things I was witnessing until I take it in right now. Like, man, this dude was really good. I played with some really, really good players, great players, and it was awesome, man. Hey, I soaked it all in. I soaked it in
And
like a little kid, man.
Like a sponge.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep. Speaking of good players, well, great players actually, you got to play on the Mets in 2018. I remember you. You were a Swiss Army knife. You got to play with David Wright, Jose
I like
Reyes.
that.
What was that like playing with them?
The Mets.
Yes.
Brett, man, I'm gonna be honest. I loved it there, but this is the thing, man. Like, I'm gonna probably say that you're gonna hear me say that probably about all the teams I played with, right? Because I think I was very fortunate to play in just great clubhouses, man. But with the Mets, it was just such a different experience for me. Coming from the Giants and then coming over to actually I got traded to Texas, and I thought I was gonna be at home playing. The next day they was like, see you, you going to the Mets. And I'm like, yo, I'm right here though. And going there, man, it was such a great experience for me, man. I would have loved to sign back there. That's how comfortable I felt there. Love the fans, man. It's a little different than playing on the other side. I'll tell you that. It's a little different, but it was an unreal experience. That clubhouse, man, the guys that I played with in there, other guys that potentially have the opportunity to be Hall of Famers as well. It was just an awesome experience, man. I loved it.
Yep. Definitely.
yeah. I mean, it's amazing, and I mean look at that amazing career. You get play around Jeter, CC, Posada, Pettit, all those guys, and then you got Verlander, and then you got to play the Mets, and they had some good guys like Carlos Delgado, who also just got elected to the Hall of Fame.
Wasn't there when he wasn't there when I was there.
Okay, it wasn't there, but
Right, David Wright.
David Wright. Oh,
Yeah.
that was another great Met.
Jose Reyes.
Reyes, man, that dude is just great people, man. Like that's the thing, like just great people. That was the cool thing for me. Like that's why I can sit here and smile about it because it was just great people. Got it. Batista was there at the time, and obviously he was on the tail end of his career. But I mean, dude, I got to talk hitting with Jose Batista, man. Like that is, and I'm telling you, hey, listen. I don't care where you at in your career. I don't care. Jose Batista go to the cage and hit. I'm going to the cage and hit. That's what
Oh
some
yeah.
of these young guys need to understand. When one of those dudes go throw a bullpen or go hit or go field, you need to go watch that. They need to go watch that type of
Right.
stuff and go watch how those guys are great. You know what I mean? And I love that. I did it with Miguel Cabrera all the time. You know, Miguel Cabrera went to the cage. I'm going to the cage. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to watch greatness and how it goes about its business every day. And I got a chance to do it, man. It was awesome.
Hey, when you're 20 years old and you hit
Yeah.
a home run after getting some chin music from the Rocket, you hit the next pitch over
Yeah.
center field wall in the World Series.
What?
You
Hey, you
you are
that
him.
dude. You
Yeah,
that
you
you
that
him.
dude.
As the young boy said, you him.
Yeah,
That's
you
him.
him. I mean,
You are
I
him.
remember he took a pitch that was like right underneath his chin,
Yeah.
and then the next pitch is like up and in. You know how the Rocket pitched,
Yeah.
and he took that to dead central.
Like stayed in there. Most guys are
Yeah,
like, I'm out. I'm
I'm
out.
out. Yep.
But I guarantee you he earned a lot of respect in that at bat
Oh
right
yeah.
there. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. The
Like
Rocket
this
actually
young
tipped the
dude,
cap.
yeah, for sure.
Like, so when you're in the batter's box, right? Obviously, because you have the experience. When you hit the ball, do you automatically know if it's going to be a home run, or do you just have to kind of sit there and wait and say, I don't know if this is going to go out. Maybe the wind will push it out, or does it depend on the ballpark too?
All the above. All the above you just said. Like there's some you hit and you like got it.
Yeah.
There's some you hit that you're just not even trying to do that. You know, you're just trying to hit a line drive, and that's what, you know, supposedly a home run is just a missed line drive. Like a lot of guys tell you, you know, really good home run hitters tell you, I was trying to hit a line drive and I hit a little bit under it where, you know, the center of the baseball. Reggie used to talk about that all the time, especially on high pitches. He's like, the pitch is already up here. So why not just keep it up there? You know, just hit a little bit under it. I never could do that. He's obviously on a whole nother level, but there's times when you know, and there's times where, you know, there's a big ballpark and you drive one in the gap. For me, the type of player I was, try to be a gap to gap hitter. I didn't know if those balls were gone. Honestly, the balls that I hit in the gaps, especially in deeper ballparks, I didn't know if it was gone. I knew I got it well, and it was more so looking to where it would maybe hit the wall or bounce off, and then it just went out. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, now I can slow down. But you know, I was thinking double out the box. You know, but yeah, for me and the type of just the player that I was, I never tried to hit them. So, and I didn't hit a ton of them. So when I did hit one that I was like, ooh, yeah, I knew I got that one. It wasn't very many because a lot of the home runs I hit, I wasn't trying to do that, and it just happened. So I mean, if you could see me running out of the batter's box, it looked like, oh, you didn't know you just hit that in the second deck. Like, nah, because I wasn't trying to do that. You know, I was just trying to hit a line drive and I caught it. Like, oh, shoot, okay, I knew I got that good. Oh, okay. Ooh, no, yeah. Yeah, now let me big chest it around here now.
Right. Well, you know, that's one of the things that amazes me about Aaron Judge. I mean, the guy that hits for high average, slugs
Yeah.
balls to, you know, the moon and back.
Yeah.
But you don't see him like pimp a whole lot of, you know, the home runs. He hits it and he's already, you know, running it out. And then, I mean, there's every so often you'll see him kind of marvel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one that he really, the one where it's like, especially like when he hits one out to like center and he's like, ooh, yeah. You know, but some of these ones and I could be completely wrong. I've never spoke to Judge about hitting. Just to me, it looks like he's just trying to hit a ball hard.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not trying to lift this ball. I'm not trying to. I know that if I hit a ball hard, it's gone. You know, and
Right.
so I don't have to try to lift. I don't have to try to do anything. I'm 6'12", 395 pounds. If I hit a ball with a little bit of trajectory, it's probably gone. You know, like that's what it looks like to me. And it's incredible to watch the what he's able to do. Like you mentioned, hit for a high average and hit a lot of home runs. That just you don't see that a lot.
Right.
You either see the high average or a lot of home runs. To see both lets you know he is the real deal. He is the real deal for sure.
Yeah, and then also he can play outfield like nobody
Yeah,
else.
got a cannon.
Yeah.
Got a
Yeah.
cannon. Great
And
instincts out there. How many guys that size can man center field? That's me. I
not
was
many.
195
No.
when I played. This dude got me by 100 pounds, and he's playing the position I played. Like
The last center fielder that tall was what's his name that played 4 sports. You know.
played 4 sports.
Yeah, he got drafted by like 4 different leagues, but he played basketball, football. Played in the 80s. But
we got to check that. I don't know.
yeah, I forget
Somebody
his
was that
name, but
tall though.
he was like 6'6", 6'7". It's like
Damn.
tallest center before that. But the
Playing
name
outfield.
escapes me, but I forget his name. But he was a good player, great player. But
Interesting. I'll check it out.
Yep.
Maybe it was Victor Wembanyama.
Nah.
That dude.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, that dude is.
I guess
But yeah.
we're getting some news from NITHIN here that Carlos Mendoza will remain the Mets manager. I guess there were some questions about if he would have been fired or not, but he's going to remain the Mets manager. All right, so we thank NITHIN for that. And then Paul DeJong is opting out of his Yankees contract, as he said he would if he was not vested to the major league level. So he is opting out of his deal and becoming a free agent this afternoon. So appreciate that, NITHIN.
Well, go ahead, Evan.
Okay. Austin, what's your opinion on the analytics in today's game? We know that coaches and player development are trying to get players to lift the ball more, exit velocity, get all that stuff going with the analytics. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that players should have free reign on that, or do you think coaches are going a little bit too hard on the analytics?
Yeah, I don't know if how they're using it. I definitely think it's a place for it, and I definitely think it's beneficial. To a certain extent. I think that having both elements of the, I guess for lack of better words, the old school and the new school, mixed. I think that that's the best way. I don't think it should just be all about analytics to the point to where you kind of just lose the feel for the game as a player. There's something to be said about having a feel for the moment and not what some numbers tell me. I still think that the human element, just the being in the moment and just being an athlete, and the things that analytics can't measure. I think that you still need a little bit of that. Just like you still need a little bit of veterans in the game. You still need a little bit of that old school style of type of baseball that I know that we all grew up watching. I think you still need that in there. I think that when I first got out of the game, I didn't like analytics. I hated it, but it was probably because I didn't give it really the time of day, and I didn't understand it. To be honest, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand that why is this measured this? Why are my defensive metrics measured this way? And who cares as long as I do this and do that? And so I wish I would have understood it a little bit more and tried to use it, to my advantage. But I didn't, and again, I didn't understand it. So the more that I started to look up on it and do some research, I was like, you know what? I do think that this could have been beneficial and is beneficial to players. I just think that it needs to be implemented in doses and not be how what baseball is. I don't think it should be what baseball is. But that's just because I still got a little bit of old school in me, and there's just something about having the feel of you and me against each other competing, and we're just competing. You ain't telling me what I'm throwing to this guy right here based on percentages. It's just feel. I just saw that foul ball that he just hit. I'm going here. I know the percentages say I should do this again, but I don't have a feel for that pitch. I don't, or just whatever it is. I think that part of the game, I still think needs to be there. But I do like the analytics though, so I know I got the cooking a little bit. But
I totally agree with that. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like how they
And,
form the lineups now. Like in my opinion, Aaron Judge should always be batting third. He should have protection of Ben Rice batting second or batting fourth, and then Cody Bellinger probably batting cleanup or somewhere in there. That deepens your lineup a whole lot rather than having Aaron Judge bat second.
Oh yeah. And then I mean you can't forget, when Stan's healthy. You got
Yep.
and that 4, that Ben Rice, who's proven himself to be a stud. He's figured out how to hit and consistently and high average, and he's got some pop. And he's not afraid of the moments. That's what I love about the guy. And then you bat him in front of Judge. It should be that way. And then, Bellinger, who's the perfect protection for the 2 big righties. And then you got Big G coming. But, and I know a lot of players too, and I'm going to ask you this, Austin. A lot of fans give grief about guys like Trent Grisham leading off. So I want to ask you about how would you be able to tell like an ideal leadoff guy and
Yeah. No, I mean the prototypical leadoff hitter is not what it used to be. We've just seen that throughout the years with certain guys that probably are 3-hole hitters and definitely 2-hole hitters leading off. So it's not what it used to be. I guess the numbers and the percentages, people are looking for that one swing, get on the board right now type of mentality. As opposed to get them on, get them over, get them in type mentality. That's just where, the analytics have kind of taken the game. And I mean, I still believe in leadoff hitter having a high on base percentage, a guy that can steal bases, a guy that can cause havoc with his legs. I still like that guy, and I still think there is a place for that guy in the game. You're starting to see teams kind of get back to that mold of baseball because it still works. A lot of it obviously has to do with the personnel, the type of the players that you have that are able to play that type of baseball. Are they able to play that type of baseball? But I just think that I still believe in the prototypical leadoff hitter, the elite on base percentage, the guy that can cause pressure on the base pass, the guy that can see a lot of pitches and. But that's me. I know that I wouldn't mind having Shohei Ohtani hit leadoff, and getting us on the board right away. Should he be there? I don't know, but I know one thing: he can get us up 1-0 real fast. So
And I mean Shohei's another guy that's a special player. I mean he can pitch, he can hit, he speed, power, high
He's
average.
Exciting. Right?
Yeah,
he sets that tone. He sets that tone for them right away where a pitcher is like, do I want it to be 1-0 or do I just want to face the second batter right now? You're just putting pressure on the opposing pitcher right away. You know what I'm saying? And it's, again, setting that tone. And if that's the way that lineup is structured to where you got a guy like that, setting the tone, and he can steal bases. You can't just fall asleep on him over there. Like, he can steal bases.
Yeah. And I mean, you got big 3 right there in that Dodgers lineup leading off. You got Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker too.
Shohei actually Tucker's in ERA right now. I think he has like a 0.68 ERA right now.
Yeah, 0.68. And what I noticed though this year, the Dodgers are doing something special with him. On the days he pitches, he doesn't hit.
Yeah. He's not even a DH.
And I don't know if that's just a mutual decision between him and Dave Roberts or, whoever decided it. But for some reason, I mean, I know he came off that Tommy John a couple years ago. So maybe this just to stretch it out further, so he can pitch longer in his career and, do kind of both. But it's still amazing, though. I mean, you're talking about this guy who plays, 4 to 5 day, whatever, and then and then he goes and pitches,
Yeah.
And then he's doing like 10K, 7 innings, 6
Yeah.
innings. And yeah, it's microscopic ERA. And you know what? I tip my cap to Shohei Ohtani and a lot of these other guys that does it.
Yeah.
But Katie in the chat has this question. What's up, everybody? My question for Austin is, what was your favorite part of your MLB career with the Yankees?
Honestly, I think just getting drafted by the Yankees organization taught me how to be a professional. Honestly, taught me how to be a professional. I just feel like the organization does things a little bit different. They're top notch, and I would kind of you would notice that in the minor leagues when you go play against other, at least when I was playing, you go play against other guys, and they'd be like, man, y'all look at y'all's bus, or look. I mean, they just did things top notch, and it was just a way that I think being with the organization taught me how to carry myself, and that that followed me. That went with me throughout my big league career. Because I think having that base of how to be a big leaguer or what that looks like, I was able to see that with Hall of Fame guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How we doing on time, Austin? How much more time?
I'm good, baby. I'm good. I got y'all carved out, man.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
I have
Make it so
another
special
question.
over here. Thank you.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Jason.
We've had a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yep. So Austin, are you gonna maybe think about getting into coaching maybe when you're when you want, whenever?
Man, I'm thinking about it, dude. Like for real. So when I first got done, honestly, I didn't really want a lot of things to do with the game. I was just like, yeah, I want to get away from it. And then my son, he started playing, started coaching him. So I kind of started getting that itch again. And now he's 9, and I'm still coaching him. And I enjoy helping development. And I didn't realize that I would like it. Once I get out there, I get into it. I'm sweating, like I'm into it. Like kids are like, whoa, what's wrong with you? I'm like, dude, I'm passionate about it, like when I'm helping these kids, because I really do like to share a lot of the knowledge that I've learned and try to, help somebody else. I think is awesome. So to answer your question, yes, I do. I think that at some point I'll get back into it. I'm with little man right now, trying to get him
Yeah.
to a certain point. And then I think, once I can let him go and say, hey, hey, I brought you here. So you try to go and finish it out. I think that I would eventually like to get into coaching. I don't know what that looks like, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Any team
Yeah.
would be lucky to have you as a coach. So
That'd be
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Man.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you see a lot of these guys that were, players, and then they go into coaching or, broadcasting. And then, and then you also see guys that are still coaching or involved in coaching,
Yeah.
like Ron Washington and,
Right.
Dusty Baker, who, he's just everywhere. And I would pick his brain if I was trying to coach.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, Dusty, how
Yeah, I'm bringing them a coffee. I'm bringing them a bagel, something. What you need, I
Yeah.
got you. Just so you know what I mean. Like again, that's how you learn. That's how you grow the knowledge. Just rubbing elbows with them. It doesn't really matter. And that type of things those are the type of things that I did, and now I love sharing that information with 9-year-olds or even high school guys that are about to go through that process of getting drafted or going to college. I love just helping in any way that I can, because just getting that advice at a young age, it can really take you a long way.
Oh yeah, it's amazing though. I mean, because I remember watching the Yankees in the '90s, and you would see how like Don Zimmer, who was another baseball lifer and a great manager and coach, and you would see him like kind of rib players, but you would see the respect, and then you would just
Yeah.
see, and then you could just tell, I mean, when he passed away, how much real respect, guys like Joe Girardi and others had for him. And I was like, man, it's just, that's one of the things I love about baseball is that, you get the people from previous generations, pass it on to the next one, and so on.
Right.
And then
That's how it
everyone gets
works.
involved. Yeah.
That's how it works, man. That's how you keep things that's how you keep it, going is, being able to share that knowledge. I learned, a lot from Torrey Hunter and and just got to see how he left the impact on people. And I was always like, I want to be able to have that same impact on people to see how he helps out with younger guys and is always kind of taking the younger guys under his wing and kind of just under his wing, and then just teaching them how to be a professional, showing them what that looks like on a daily basis. So with these young guys, I'm very hands on with them and wanting to help their career and whatever I can do, but also being real about them about how tough that journey is going to be and what that could look like. So if I can help them with that, as somebody that's been there and done it, and then I feel good about that.
Austin, did you work with Rob Thompson at all with the Yankees or no?
I did for a little bit, just in spring training.
I heard that some of his practices were tough. Like he was not messing around. He was like a 5-star general out there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm talking about. Hey, he get red in the face.
Yeah.
And he get, hey, you do, and you like, he put that, you don't even put that fear in you, but it's kind of like you young, you trying to get there. You like, hey, I guess I'm about to run through this brick wall. I guess, I'm trying to get there. I gotta show him that I have what it takes. So whatever it takes, you out there after spring training practice doing extras and extra fly balls or extra ground balls, with just whatever it is, you did it. But it taught you how to be tough. It taught me so much, man. Like that's why I'm so grateful for that time, because I needed it. I needed that coming out of high school. I needed that. I needed to mature. I needed the growth. And so I got to do it with Rob Thompson, who, hey, he wasn't a joke, man. He wanted to see if guys, if they have what it takes. And I was up for the challenge, man.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
You know what? I know he got, ousted as a Phillies manager, but he did a pretty good job. I mean, given it, it's hard to manage, especially with all the superstars on the team.
Yeah.
But he did a pretty good job. And but yeah, you can tell he's well respected. He may be intense, and like you said, don't mess around. But I think a lot of players kind of respond to it.
Yeah. His business. He got a side in there that you could, touch every once in a while with a little, you can get a little jab, get a little smile, look, cracking, but then he right back to it like, all right, that's enough of that. Like let's get right back to business. You got me. You almost got me, but
we're seeing new managers like Kurt Suzuki make an impact
right
now. And a lot of these, like with the Nationals, Blake Butera, who's the youngest manager in the league.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be the old Lone Ranger sergeant out there trying to really get the teams fired up. It could be a new, young personality, a former player. That's what I love about.
And then the Giants got this new thing with the
it goes from generation to generation, really. I mean, Yep.
Well, what I was gonna say was their manager. They brought him straight from the coaching ranks in college. He's the head coach at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought him up there, but his bench coach and advisors, he's got Ron Washington and Dusty Baker, two legends, helping mentor him. But he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, the Giants, I know they had a rough start to the season, but they're a feisty team.
Mm-hmm.
And they get healthy and clicking on all cylinders. And it shows you that this guy actually understands baseball. I can see kind of why they hired him.
Right.
We have Momo Money in the chat. What's up, Momo? He says, hello, Mr. Jackson. Great to have you on here. He says, I heard the Yankees were scouting you since age 12 out of Denton.
Yep. That I was actually in Mark Batchko. Was actually in Fort Worth, and the first time I met him at what was that place in Fort Worth called? It was a facility of fields in Fort Worth, And yeah, that was the first time I was scouted by the Yankees, Mark Batchko, Fort
Wow.
Worth. So yep, that's a true story.
No, that's amazing. And yeah, I just it's amazing how you had this long career with all the Yankees, the Tigers, the Mets. You played with a lot of different greats. And you sound like you would be a real great coach up there if you want.
We'll see.
You don't want to
Yeah.
try and
We'll
come back,
see.
But I mean,
You know.
what would be your advice, for a young kid that's having dreams of, trying to make the majors?
Man, just having the ability and being able to coach young kids and seeing how the game is still a game to them and they're still understanding, they're still learning. Um, what I come away with a lot is just be a kid. Be a kid, dream, have your role models, have the people that you look up to. Like sometimes I can get with these kids a little bit too technical, and I come away from it like, how can I help this kid, just enjoy this game? And I think it's just really, talking to them about competing and being a kid and trust the process. It's a process. There is nothing that is going to get you from being a 9-year-old to a D1 athlete right tomorrow. It's not. It just doesn't work like that. There's so many things that have to happen. There's a lot of experience that needs to happen, and you got to just trust that process and enjoy the journey. I always tell my young dude that, bro, enjoy this journey because you're gonna look up one day and it's gonna be like that. So enjoy this journey. Enjoy being outside in the cage right now, taking swings when your boys are at school. Enjoy that because I'm homeschooling. So enjoy that. Enjoy that being able to just get out there for 30 minutes and hit a bucket of balls. Like enjoy the process, enjoy competing. And I think when you do that, it allows you to take that pressure off. There's so much pressure that these kids have to win and do better. And it's just like, hey, enjoy this. Enjoy this. Trust me, because I wish I had that still. I wish I had that still. So I really stress to them, enjoy this, man. This is what's going to build you into the type of person and player you'll be in the future. So take it serious right now, but also enjoy it. So,
Yep. Guys,
And
real quick, I do have to go. But
okay.
Austin, it was an honor talking to you.
all right, brother.
Thank you so much for coming on. I gotta
Yeah,
do my college class right now, but thank you so much.
go get it.
And
Absolutely.
yep, Sean, Evan, see you guys. Thank you.
Pay attention in class.
See you,
Okay?
Jason.
Don't doze off.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, brother.
All right. All right. This will be our last question here.
All right.
We'll bring NITHIN back up. So Momo talking about failure, of course. Baseball, you're going to fail 70% of the time, right? If you are successful 30% of the time, you're a Hall of Famer, of course. If you go 3 for 10, hit 300. Was there a moment in your career that you were struggling a lot, you couldn't find success at the plate? And was there a moment that helped you turn it around? Or was there a teammate that said, hey, make this adjustment? Or your manager, the communication? Was there any sort of that aspect that helped you turn around if you were going through a rough stretch?
Yeah. But the biggest one I remember is the one that actually helped me continue playing baseball was the one I had in the minor leagues. The stretch of, just struggling in the minor leagues to the point to where I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit and I just wanted to, be done with it. And, I was failing so much and I had been sent back down to repeat a level and I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find who I was. I didn't know, my identity. I didn't know what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be. So I was struggling. I remember I was on the bus and I called my mom. I said, I'm done with this. She was like, all right, come on home. That's not what I was expecting to hear. I wasn't expecting to hear my mom tell me come home. She was like, yeah, go ahead and come back. You gonna get a job though. I was like, yeah, nah, it ain't that bad. It's not. It ain't that bad, Mom. Dang. She's like, well, what you gonna do about it? I was like, I get it. Point taken, Ma. I got it. I understand what you mean. That helped kind of bring it back. That helped kind of bring it back for me to where I was like, hey, you're struggling, but you're gonna quit when you're struggling. You know what I mean? Like that's not how this works. That's not how my parents raised me. So yes, I had a stretch in the minor leagues where it was really bad. I've had several in the in the major leagues, but that moment right there was the one I think that really hammered home and got me to understand how to work through my failures. So,
well, you had a great career. We thank you very much for
appreciate
taking time with us today.
Absolutely.
Sean, any final thoughts before we hand it off to NITHIN?
Well, I mean, he just said it. Like, it's amazing how moms always know what to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They know
I
how to
remember,
they know how to get you.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, no, because I remember, I'll tell this. I was in the army, right, and followed a long family line of being in the military. But right before I shipped out for basic training, my stepmom was in the car. She pretty much raised me, so mama. And she was talking to me, and she said, "What are you gonna do when one of them gets up in your face and gets angry?" And I was like, "Well, I'll try not to hit him. Try not." And she said, "If you get kicked out of the at a boot camp, don't bother coming home."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just keep my
Yeah.
head."
You right, Mom. You right. You right.
But it was just she asked that question to get me thinking, and then she said,
Right.
"Hey, don't think that this is gonna be a fallback plan." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Nope."
It ain't gonna work. Yeah. And it got you right though.
So
You
it got me
remember
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? You remember that for the rest of your life. Like, hey, I better lock it in.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also my grandfather, he was like, "Just keep your head down and keep your nose clean."
Yep.
Work.
Simple.
That work in.
Hey, by the way, great job to Jason, Evan, and Sean. You guys did a great job with Austin and Austin. Thank you for joining. And
Absolutely.
speaking of speaking of Jose Reyes, I work in the sports agency business also. So we do a lot of events with different all different athletes in different sports. And last year we did an event with Jose Reyes at one of our venues here. What a great guy, man! It was. I love working. I loved working with him at that venue, and he's a down to earth guy, and we had a great turnout for him that day, and man, Jose is the true ball player that you wanted on a baseball team. And speaking of events, we just booked Francisco Alvarez, the Mets catcher, for an event at the same venue where we had Jose Reyes for June 8th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 7 p.m.
Nice.
Eastern. Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah, so awesome. Maybe one of these days, maybe we can get you down here for an event, or maybe I can have you get you some stuff down where you live too. So
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, just let me know.
yeah, and I gotta I
Let me know.
want to ask you about this. You were on you were on with Kevin Pillar and Cody Allen.
Right.
So the full segment that they do a great job with
Yeah.
their podcast, and they started it. I think they started it recently too, and they had Cole Hamels on, and they had I think the
Vernon.
Yeah,
And they had Vernon on there.
Yeah, Chris, I think they had Chris Davis, the first baseman.
Yep, that's right.
But just talk about that. What was it like just to get to reunite with some of the players that you played against or played with too, or just like it's great being in this business. It's great to see players have their own shows and podcasts. But just talk about that your segment you did, and just getting to just chop it up with them and talk baseball again with the players that you played against.
Man, it's awesome. That's what I miss. I miss that clubhouse, atmosphere and just chopping it up with your buddies. And honestly, that's what it felt like. But it was also cool to kind of talk in a way that we probably wouldn't talk in the clubhouse as well. It was cool to feel like I was safe to talk to them about anything, because I know that they've had their own journey as well. So it was cool, man. It was cool to be able to, again, feel like I was, in a clubhouse, but also to talk about some things maybe that we wouldn't typically talk about in the clubhouse, and and just chop it up a little bit. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I saw the full segment. It was awesome, and hearing your story, and obviously, like always, I love the underdog stories when I'm working with these players, and I love the underdog stories, and you had the underdog story too.
Mhm.
And I got two more things before we go. The first one, no one asked you about this catch, man, against Boston, man. And you gotta,
Oh, I
gotta
brought
take
that up though.
Oh,
I
you
brought
did?
it up.
You
I
gotta
brought
take
it
it.
up.
You
Yeah.
gotta take this in depth with that, man. I that was one of the. I think. Do you? I don't know how you did it, but were you?
That
Did you
was
feel
insane.
confident? Did you feel confident that you were gonna go full, like catch it when you went over the fence?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it just kind of happened, right? Like you're going back for a ball, and I mean, you're confident that you have the ability to catch any ball once if you can get to it. That situation was crazy because I remember everything kind of slowing down, and it was like I really picked up on a lot of stuff that really happened in the split of a second. Like I was able to see fans and grass and the pitching mound out there in the bullpen and see faces and stuff like that. It's crazy how something that happens that fast in that moment, and honestly, it slows down in a moment like that. But and another thing that's crazy about that too is playing there in against Boston when David Ortiz hit that home run and Torrey went over the wall. It's crazy that my brain was like, don't go over the wall like that, grab the wall. Or
Yeah.
maybe that was just a reaction. And I just remember when I caught it, thinking like, don't do not go over this wall without grabbing something. You better put a leg on it or a cleat or something. So I was able to, I remember grab it and flipped over, but I still had it in my hand. But honestly, I didn't know if it was an out or not. I really didn't know. I was like, I don't even know the rules on this. What is the rule? I mean, I know obviously now, but I was like, what? Like in that moment, I was like, I got it. I caught it. But shit, is it out? You like, I don't know. But it was a cool moment, man. It was sweet, man, to be able to do that and I think show that that I could make athletic plays like that.
Yeah, and one final thing before we let you go, let's talk about the mindset. Obviously, being in a big trade that you were part of back when you were playing with the Yankees, Tigers, and Diamondbacks. When the Yankees got Curtis Grannis and you went to Detroit, and Max Scherzer went to Detroit from Arizona. Let's talk about that big trade, the mindset, and how did you deal with that? And obviously, being part of the Yankees organization is. The players think they were going to be there forever, but it's a business. But for you, on your side with your family and all too, tell us the mindset with being part of that big trade.
I mean, it's. I think once you start to see the people involved, you don't. You realize there's some really good players in this trade. So this isn't just for anything. This is a team that they want you and they want to come add value to them. And I took it as that. Obviously, you just mentioned you think you're going to be somewhere forever. When I got drafted by the Yankees, my mindset was I'm playing center field for the Yankees. And when that didn't happen, that chip, that whole, oh, I gotta prove myself. Like I gotta prove myself again. Like it never that mindset never stops. Like so now, you have to go I kind of spoke on an earlier show, Detroit, that hey, you're capable of replacing a Curtis Granderson. You're capable of that. That you have to have that mindset. So I had that again, that kind of chip on my shoulder mentality, where I'm gonna prove that I'm capable of coming over here and helping a team, because another team didn't want me. Again, that's the mindset. That's that competitive mindset, that chip on your shoulder mindset that I feel that I needed in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, well said. And there you have it, guys. The one and only Austin Jackson. Thank you for
All right,
taking the
fellas.
time for coming on this show, man. You're the best. And like I said, let's keep in contact and
All right.
let's see if we can do something together, like what I do with the other players. And keep up the great work, man. And
Nice.
And obviously you had a great career, and you're doing big things now. And hopefully we get to see you coaching one day in the majors.
Mhm.
But great, thank you for joining them. Like I
Absolutely.
said, all
Thank
the
you very much. Best of
all the-
luck this
God,
year.
Evan, thank y'all, man. Appreciate it. Y'all was great, dude.
Oh, thank you. Best of
All
luck
right.
with your child too.
Yes, sir.
Is your son a baseball player too?
Yeah, he's baseball. He loves it. Baseball, basketball.
Yeah.
Get him into like golf and tennis too. We're gonna do it all.
Awesome.
We're creating athletes.
Hope he gets everything he wants.
No, a lot of players, a lot of athletes, they all grow up playing multiple sports, and then they'll
Multiple
just have
sports,
one.
man.
Yeah.
You gotta be an athlete first, you know.
I mean, you look at Pat Mahomes.
Boom.
He grew up playing baseball and football, and some of these throws he's doing as quarterback are from his days as being a shortstop.
Right. Exactly. It makes a big difference. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you again, Austin, and have a great weekend.
All right, fellas. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all take care.
All right.
Take care. Yep.
All right,
That was
guys.
awesome.
Yeah, great job, Evan, Sean, Jason. You guys did a great job with Austin. And glad that my team and I were able to get him on for you guys. And shout out to the chat for interacting and having great questions for Austin. What a great guy, man. You guys did awesome. You guys killed it.
No, thank you. It was
Yeah,
an
well,
honor.
thank-
And it was great. And once again, thank you, NITHIN and your team for getting him on.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah, well,
an
go
honor
ahead.
and a privilege.
Yeah.
I said it was an honor and privilege, and I had fun. I mean, Austin Jackson, he was a great player, and then great person to talk to about baseball. And man, all those different players he played with and against.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So guys, tune in tonight with the Yankees game. With the Yankees and Orioles. I think Evan will be calling the game. Chef,
Jason will be.
oh yeah, sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
Chef Dick, I think most likely, and then and others. So tune in with that, and also right after that, Jason will also be calling the Houston Rockets and Lakers game.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for all that.
And he'll be joined by Terrence. He'll
Yeah,
be joined by
Terrence.
Terrence for part of that game. And then I'm also going to come up at halftime, give it some analysis.
Terrence will be joining, and Evan will be joining at halftime. And guys, stay tuned. A lot of things are happening. My team and I are working on more things for you guys. And please subscribe to our NITHIN Sports Rush Show, NY Sports Oddmouth. And big things are happening at our NIL companies. So stay tuned and keep up the great work, everyone. And this has been, like I said, great episode. And stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys later. And let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go, Yankees.
I am Katharina Michio, and you are watching NY Mania.
I'm Kayla Walsh, and you're watching NY Yankee Mania.
Hi, my name is Maria Venuto, and you are watching New York Yankee Mania.
I'm Marnie Schneider. I'm the author of Football Freddy, and I am so excited to be part of the New York Yankee Mania show.
Hey, everybody, it's Ian Eagle. You are watching NY Yankee Mania, the best.